Hi everyone, Dennis here again. Okay, so this video and this newsletter, we've spoken about telling your story and the importance of it, and getting your team involved and all those types of things. But this video and this newsletter is all about how do you make your story? How do you create the story that you want to tell? So the important issues here are you need to understand, obviously, what it is that you are delivering. When you started your business, you were trying to solve some problem, or you saw some opportunity, or you saw a gap in the market, or whatever the case may be, right? Now, there's competition, there's always competition, so obviously, again, you looked at it and said, well, they're not delivering. Now, whether this was for you, as in you were trying to solve a problem for yourself, and that's usually where a lot of creators and founders kick off. I've got a problem. I can see that what I'm offered out there in the marketplace doesn't do it for me at the moment. I think I can do better. I think I can solve my problem, and then I can do something to scale that, to offer that to others as well. So that's your story. Now, whatever your story is, whatever the problem was, whatever the solution was, whatever it gave to you, the benefits it gave to you, presumably you are now looking to transfer that to other users, right? Your clients. So you need to go back and think about what was the problem for a start. What was it that either you faced or that you saw that wasn't being dealt with in the marketplace? And then think about the process, the thought process you went through to come up with whatever your solution and your service or your product is. Now that may be that you tried a lot of things, you looked at various platforms or services or products or whatever the case may be, and you kind of tweaked them maybe, or you came out of left field and came up with a solution that was really what you were looking for or what you thought the market was looking for. Maybe you also went through a testing process. Obviously, it would be a useful thing to do, is to go through a testing process with potential clients, asking them questions, finding out where their pain points were, and then creating from that whatever it is that you're now selling. So go back to that time. Go back to the original starting point that you recognised the problem, wherever it came from, and said to yourself, this needs solving, and I can do better than what's out there at the moment. Now, if you can't do better than what's out there at the moment, you need to rethink your story, right? And rethink what you're delivering. We assume that you're not just copying somebody else. We assume that you are delivering something that is unique in some form or other. Whether it's a business model approach, maybe it's everybody else was selling a product and you do it on a product as a service basis or something. Maybe it's the tweaking, maybe it's the IP, maybe it's whatever it may be. Something about what you do makes you unique. And that's what you need to get across in your story, right? It's the uniqueness that is the important criteria when people are deciding whether to choose your product or service, your company, your business, or somebody else. Now, it could be as simple as, we are the cheapest. Fine, if that's the case. Not a great way to go, because it's always a race to the bottom, but if that's what you've got, that's what you've got. Maybe your customer service is better, right? You've instituted all sorts of things to make sure the customers get better information, faster information, whatever it may be. Maybe your product is just so magically wonderful that it stands out from the crowd. I don't know, but that's where you need to start. You need to go back to what was the reason that I started this business. What was the problem that I faced or somebody else faced or you noticed in the marketplace that wasn't being delivered, and now you need to tell the story about how you saw the problem, how you started to deal with that, what you've got now, what you have in the future, what you plan to add. Obviously, everything is a status point right now. You've been able to do something, but you're always looking to improve that, to add more features perhaps, to add more benefits, to make it simpler, to make it better. So that's also part of your story. So you need to think about where you came from, number one. What was the problem? Number two. What you did to solve the problem, the journey you took and the effort it took. People want to know that it didn't just appear overnight, that, you put a lot of time and effort into this to make it right. That may have involved, many, many conversations with potential clients, maybe many iterations of whatever the solution was that you put together. The blind alleys, the wrong turns, the things that just went completely wrong. But now you've got something that you believe delivers for the clients. So you need to tell that story. How it came about, what was the problem, where you're at now, and of course, bearing in mind that as you go along, you'll learn more from the clients once they start to use the product or service, whatever it is, what they want more. So you need to give them a bit of an idea of the roadmap going forward. So your story really is, it's a never-ending story, and as you do iterations and you do improvements and whatever else, you'll also tell the story again, right? So don't think this is a one-off thing that you're going to do. Obviously, the opportunity to connect with your audience, your client base, as well as and your staff as well, to keep them up to date on your thinking and incorporating all their ideas as well. That's part of the storyline that you need to create. So that's what you need to do right now. This newsletter and this video is about how do I create the story I'm going to tell? How do I keep it relevant to both my audience in terms of your client base or your potential prospective clients? How do I keep it relevant to my team? How do I keep it relevant to myself? Am I on track? So again, I've said this before in other videos, if you ever feel like you wanted to do your story on video and share it with me for a bit of no obligation feedback, by all means do that, because now is crunch time. What story are you telling? How did you get there? Where are you going in the future? Tell that story. Thanks for this. Have a good time. See you next time.